I'm off now.
Have a good trip and take care. Starting today, my Terry is going on a business trip for 3 days. As usual, I saw him off at the front door. The only thing different from usual is that our daughter didn't come to see him off. Until not too long ago, she used to come to see him off at the front door just when he was going to work. For some reason, my daughter hasn't been showing up these days. I know it's a little early, but is that girl going through puberty? As I returned to the living room, my daughter suddenly opened her mouth to me with a serious expression on her face.
Mom, please, divorce Dad.
Huh? What are you saying?
Please, Mom.
Seeing my daughter on the verge of tears, my heart felt like it was about to burst. Understanding the meaning of her words, I made a decision on the spot. This can't go on like this. I will protect this child and make her happy. With a determination, I immediately fled with my daughter. My name is Miriam Atkinson, and I'm 35 years old. I work in an IT company while also juggling the role of a part-time mother. I married my husband Terry 7 years ago. After we registered our marriage, we moved into an apartment that my father-in-law had purchased for us. Shortly after that, I became pregnant, and our daughter was born the following year. Our daughter Haley recently turned 6. She grows bigger each day, and I couldn't be happier. Haley is a huge fan of her dad. He leaves the house every morning at 6:30, and it has become a daily routine for Haley to wake up by that time to see him off.
Dad, take care.
Wearing pajamas and with a beaming smile, Haley clings to her father. My husband seems to be delighted with this routine, and he always hugs our daughter affectionately.
Haley, Dad will miss you, but I have to go.
Okay, good luck at work. Please come home early today.
I wonder. Daddy's been busy with work lately, and I'm sorry I haven't been able to play with you as much as I'd like, okay?
No, I know Dad is working hard, so I can be patient.
You're amazing, Haley. Haley, do your best at school too.
Okay, I have an English test today, so I'll do my best.
Every morning, this heartwarming conversation between husband and daughter unfolds. Such ordinary days were my happiness, but recently there's one thing that worries me. Lately, my husband has been coming home late. His company always had occasional overtime, but lately it's been more frequent, and he comes home late often. We used to have dinner together, but nowadays, most of the time, our daughter and I eat alone. On this day, as I was preparing dinner, my daughter Haley spoke to me in a hushed voice.
Hey, Mom, is Dad coming home late again today?
Yes, it seems that way. Dad's been really busy with work. But you know, Dad is working hard for you and Mommy, Haley.
Yeah, I understand. But I want to be with Dad more, like before.
You're right. It's lonely. We haven't been able to go out lately.
Yeah.
Over the past few months, my husband has been working late and often working on weekends as well. He's been tired from consecutive overtime and weekend work, and on his days off, he tends to just relax the whole day. Our daughter, perhaps out of consideration for her father, never says things like, "I want to go out," or "I want to play in front of him." She probably understands that her father works hard every day and comes home tired. While I'm grateful for the kind child she has become, it means she's had to endure a lot. Thinking that it's not good for our daughter to continue like this, I decided to discuss it with my husband. On a Friday night, at the end of the week, I stayed awake and waited for my husband to come home. I fought off drowsiness, and after midnight, I finally heard the sound of the front door opening. My husband entered the living room and was surprised to see me.
Huh? Miriam? Did you wait for me to wake up?
Yeah, I have something I want to talk about.
Something you want to talk to me about?
Yes, I'm sorry to bother you when you're tired, but it's about Haley. Mentioning our daughter's name, my husband sat in front of me with a serious expression.
Is something wrong?
I immediately began the conversation with my husband. You see, today, Haley told me that she wants to spend more time with you. She usually acts cheerful, but I think she's really feeling lonely.
Is that so? Well, I feel bad about it. I've been making her feel lonely because of my busy job.
It's not your fault, Terry. Besides, Haley understands that your job is tough. That's why she doesn't say anything in front of you.
You're right. All right, I got it. Let's go out together next Sunday.
Really? Thank you, Terry. Haley will be so happy. Following my husband's suggestion, we decided to go out next Sunday. When I told our daughter about it the next day, Haley's eyes sparkled with joy.
Really? Going out? With Dad? The three of us?
Yes, that's right. Dad is going to take us somewhere.
Yay! I want to go to an amusement park, an aquarium, and a zoo.
Well, let's choose one of them. Anywhere you want to go is fine.
Okay, I'll think about it.
After a week of contemplating, our daughter chose the aquarium. On the day of our outing, the three of us headed to the aquarium in the neighboring town. How many years has it been since I last visited an aquarium? I go through the tanks in order one by one, watching my daughter's happy face. Since my husband and I both work, we let our daughter have a child-friendly smartphone. Haley happily took pictures of the fish with her smartphone. As we finished looking at the first section, my husband suddenly spoke up.
Sorry, Miriam.
He somehow had a guilty look on his face. What's wrong? I asked, and Terry whispered to me so that our daughter couldn't hear.
The company called me and they want me to come to the office right away.
Huh? Right now?
Yeah, well, if I've been called in by my boss, I can't really refuse, can I? I'm sorry, but both of you can take the train home.
But what should I tell Haley? We finally gotta go out together today.
There's no other way, is there? Can you handle it skillfully, Miriam? Well, see you.
My husband hurriedly left the scene to avoid being seen by our daughter. As I pondered what to do, our daughter, who had been walking with her eyes on the ground, suddenly turned around energetically.
Mom, what's going on? And where's Dad?
I thought about lying, but a makeshift lie would only get me caught. Besides, my daughter is already in elementary school and can understand adult words. I took my daughter to the side of the aisle, crouched down to her level, and began to speak. I'm sorry, Haley. Dad received a call from work and they want him to come in right away.
Huh? Work? But today was supposed to be our day out.
It's a very important job, and Dad is the only one who can do it.
Does that mean Dad is amazing?
Yeah, that's right. Dad is a remarkable person who can be relied on when things get tough. Perhaps she was very pleased with those words as her expression, which had been gloomy until then, suddenly brightened. Afterward, while happily saying, "Dad is so cool," she continued to visit the aquarium. It seemed that she was very tired, as Haley fell fast asleep on the train ride back. While looking at her adorable sleeping face, I couldn't help feeling a little sorry. Even though she had interpreted it in a positive way, she must have felt lonely. Right now, the three of us should have been making dinner together. I understand that his job is busy, but I wonder if this situation will continue like this indefinitely. Despite my husband's best efforts, my anxiety inevitably takes precedence. How long will these days like this continue? Will I have to make our daughter feel lonely for the foreseeable future? Thinking about such things made my chest feel somewhat heavy. However, there's nothing I can do right now. The only thing I can do is to spend more time with my daughter and try not to make her feel lonely. I promised myself that I would spoil my daughter as much as my husband did. 1 week later, as usual, I saw off my husband at the entrance before going to work, but our daughter didn't come at all. She didn't respond when I called her name, and it seemed she was holed up in her room. Perhaps because he couldn't see our daughter, my husband left for work with a somewhat lonely expression. After seeing him off, I called out to my daughter in her room. "Haley, I told Papa, but was it okay that we didn't see him off today?"
Yeah.
"I see. Breakfast will be ready soon, so come to the living room when you're ready."
Okay.
She doesn't have her usual cute smile and wears a somewhat troubled expression. During breakfast, I tried asking if something had happened, but my daughter didn't open up. Even after 2 weeks, my daughter remained in low spirits, and our conversations became significantly less frequent. Previously, she used to talk to my husband as well, but now it seemed like she was avoiding him. Then, one day, my husband had to go on a 2-night, 3-day business trip.
She's not coming to see me off today, is she?
With a hint of loneliness in his voice, my husband made that remark, and I did my best to encourage him. "I'm sure by the time you return from your business trip, Haley will be back to her usual self."
Do you think so? I hope so.
"So, Terry, do your best on your trip. Don't worry about us. And don't forget to bring souvenirs, okay?"
I will. Well then, I'm off.
"Take care and have a safe trip." I saw off my husband at the entrance as usual. However, my daughter didn't show up at all. It's a bit early, but I wonder if she's going through puberty. I returned to the living room, thinking carefree thoughts. Then, my daughter suddenly spoke to me with a serious expression.
Mom, please, divorce Dad.
"Huh? What are you talking about?"
Please, Mom.
With my daughter looking like she could burst into tears at any moment, my heart ached. This is not something simple. I firmly believe that, and gently asked my daughter, placing my hand on her shoulder. "Haley, what's wrong? Why are you suddenly saying something like this? Did something happen?"
Listen to this.
"Huh?" What my daughter handed me was her usual child-sized smartphone. Even though it is for children, it can take photos and videos and has an audio function. My daughter showed me one video. When I replayed the video, I found that it left a shocking image.
It's okay. She hasn't noticed. My wife is oblivious. She'll never realize it for sure. The last time I visited, we actually went to the aquarium as a family. But family outings are so boring. I'll make sure to get her savings, and then I'm divorcing her. I only love you, Erica.
The video was secretly taken from the living room entrance. My husband had his back turned to me, sitting on the sofa and talking on the phone. Judging by the conversation, he seems to be involved in an affair with a woman named Erica. Even though she's young, my daughter sensed what was going on. "Haley, I don't know how this is possible."
I woke up in the middle of the night and I heard Dad's voice. I wanted to say welcome back, but Dad was on the phone with someone. I took this to let you know that Dad is lying.
I see. I'm sorry, Haley. You didn't want to hear this, did you?
Yeah, and I just started disliking Dad. I want to be with just you, Mom.
Haley. I held my daughter tightly and kept apologizing. At the same time, my hatred for my husband grew. This can't go on like this. I will protect this child and make her happy. I packed our things while my daughter got ready, and then I packed the essentials into a suitcase. Holding my daughter, I immediately made my escape. We headed to my in-laws' house, which was about an hour away by train. Since my own family lives in Alaska, traveling can be quite challenging. I have a close relationship with my in-laws, and they have always treated me as if I were their own daughter. They were taken aback and confused when I and my daughter suddenly arrived unannounced, but I was straightforward and told them the truth. Terry is having an affair. My words left my in-laws wide-eyed, and they exchanged glances. Then my daughter handed her smartphone to them and played the video I mentioned.
What is he doing?
The room filled with anger. My father-in-law turned red, and my mother-in-law trembled with fury. My in-laws dote on their first grandchild, and they are furious about what their granddaughter had to go through. My father-in-law offered to transfer the purchased apartment and began the paperwork immediately. They allowed me to send all of my husband's belongings to their house, so I quickly returned to the apartment and had all his things delivered to my in-laws' place before he came back. 2 days later, while having dinner at home with my daughter, there was a loud noise at the front door. However, we had already changed the locks, so my husband couldn't enter. He continued to ring the intercom persistently, and then my phone started receiving a barrage of calls. Because he was so insistent, I reluctantly made my way to the front door. With a chain lock in place, I opened the door to find my husband, his face red with anger, shouting at me.
Hey, why want the door open? What did you do?
What did I do? I just changed the locks, that's all.
Huh? Why would you do something like that? I won't be able to get in.
Well, I don't intend to let you enter this apartment ever again.
What? What are you talking about? This is our home, isn't it?
Sorry, but this home is in my name now. Your father changed the ownership. Unexpectedly, my husband stood in front of the door, baffled by the facts. Then our daughter appeared from the living room. When Terry saw Haley, he extended his hand through the gap in the door with a forced smile.
Haley, please tell Mom. I'm having trouble not being able to enter the room.
Then my daughter gave him a cold look.
You don't have to come in, because you're not Dad anymore.
Haley, what's happened to you? Did Mom say something to you?
Didn't Dad lie? He told someone else that he loved them, right?
My daughter took out her own smartphone and silently thrust the video in question at him. When he saw it, Terry's face turned pale.
Why? Why this video? I mean, it's not what you think. It was just some kind of game.
Clearly, his face contorted, and his voice grew quieter. Seizing the moment, I expressed my anger. A game? I don't want to hear excuses. Do you have any idea how much we've suffered because of your police actions? I believed in you for so long. But it turns out all your overtime and business trips were lies, right? Even Haley knows everything now. And you still plan on making excuses?
Please, forgive me. I'll end my relationship with her.
I don't care about that. Haven't you figured it out yet? Haley and I no longer consider you family. Using this evidence of your affair, I'll squeeze alimony out of you and your lover. Get ready, because you and that woman are going to hell together. Ignoring my husband, who looked like he was about to cry, I firmly closed the door. For a while, there was the sound of someone knocking on the door from outside, but it soon stopped. Later, I received a message from my in-laws saying that my husband had come to them seeking help. Of course, they had no intention of helping him and promptly sent him away. He had nowhere else to go, so he ended up crashing at his lover's apartment. The reason this became known is because the affair partner contacted me and exposed the relationship herself, saying, "The story is different." She even went to the trouble of sending me pictures as proof of the affair, as if she was trying to harass me. Based on that, I requested legal assistance for a divorce from my husband. Because of the alimony payments, Terry and his cheating partner's lives are changed forever. Now they blame each other and fight every day. Moreover, the affair partner used to be a receptionist at my ex-husband's company. Their relationship got exposed at the company, leading to the immediate termination of the affair partner's contract, and Terry got moved to a less promising department, ending his chances of promotion. It doesn't seem like they have a bright future ahead of him. On the other hand, I'm still living with my daughter in the apartment my father-in-law purchased for me. My daughter doesn't seem to be sad, but rather she appears more lively than before.
Mom, on the next day off, I want to go to the amusement park.
It's true, we haven't been there in a while. Alright, let's go.
Yay! Will you buy popcorn too?
Of course. And should we get matching headbands?
Sounds good. Let's wear them together.
Since that day, it feels like my daughter and I have become close friends. I hope we can continue to overcome many challenges together in the future.